Welcome everyone, my name is Deli and this is my second Let's Talk show, and I have a super talented music producer, songwriter, Jason Lunar, and I am so excited.
Oh, bless
so,
you. It's so sweet.
so Jason, I would like, first of all, you to introduce yourself. So who are you?
Thank you so much. Yeah, my name's Jason Lunar. I'm a self-established music producer. I've been producing music for about 10 years plus with a mass array of genres, different vibes and stuff. And yeah, I feel like I'm in a really good musical place at the moment. So yeah, it's exciting.
Jason Lunar. Why Lunar? Can you give a little story about your, can I say it's a stage name?
Yeah, of course, of course. Yes, it is my stage name. I would love to deliver like a very inspirational thing, but I was literally watching Harry Potter one day and someone said Luna. I was like, that's it, that's the name. So
Oh, really?
yeah, because I'm so bad, but I spend way more time naming songs or trying to think of a name for myself than I do actually writing the music. So I just went with it and I quite like it.
I think it's a very beautiful name. And personally, I have some special kind of connection with the moon. And so everything what is related with moon, like connect with me straight away.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
So today on my radio show on a Galaxy Radio, I want to talk about songwriting inspiration, because I believe that many artists, well, hopefully many artists, young artists listening to this radio show, I hope so.
Yeah.
So I want to give some content and some tips for them, how to write a song. Yeah, so okay, let's start about that. You have an album that you released in 2020, right?
Correct. Yes, and overcome.
Yes, very beautiful album, everyone. If you haven't heard it yet, Jason Lunar on Spotify, please check. It's a very beautiful, very chill, smooth, kind of very nice, relaxed vibe. So
Oh, thank you.
yeah, I think it's a very nice album. I personally love it. So can you tell a little bit what inspired you for this album, and how long it takes to actually make the whole album?
Yeah, well, it took quite a long time because if I was to do an album, I was really quite critical of what went into it, and it had to be the right tracks, the right vibe. They had to follow each other quite well. And I think the inspiration was just from, living through experiences. I've moved around quite a bit with Australia, Bristol and stuff. And I've tried to incorporate all these traditions and sounds that I've come by along the way and put it into my music. And it developed into this really chilled, as you say, melodic, chilled out vibe. And it just became such a nice, relaxed um, sort of sound. So I just rolled with that. And I think all in all, it took about probably 6 months in total to get all together. So, but I'm very happy with it.
It is very beautiful. So really well
Thank you.
done. Um, how do you make music? Do you have do you need special circumstances, or you just, write music on a daily basis and you're trying to work a little bit every single day, no matter how you feel that day or what's the weather or.
That's exactly it. It's I literally jump into music every single night. I'm normally writing music till about 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning. Just because this it's where I belong. It's what I love to do. And the songs, sometimes you get ideas that you just sort of throw in the back burner, but then other times you get something where that's a really good song and you really want to push for that. And I find in terms of the writing method, I actually look at pictures quite a lot. That really helps me. Like places I've been, I take photos and stuff, and then I'll just stick it on a screen to my left hand side, and I just look at it, and then I just play, and I just sort of write something. And normally the best tracks have come out of that method.
Wow, that is very interesting method. So basically you look to the picture and it gives you some kind of feeling, and then you try to
Exactly.
follow the feeling. Oh, wow. Okay. That is very interesting. Okay, what do you think, what makes a good song?
Or many things. there's you have to relate to it. I think that's really important. Like, people need to feel a connection to it and a human element as well, because I technically write electronic music, but you need to feel like a human has done it. You know, there needs to be mistakes, there needs to be character about it. And I think that is what makes quite a good song as well. You know, catchy, uplifting. If you can feel something when you listen to it, then it's a good song. You know what I mean? And if you can make someone else feel the way you did, then it's worth every minute that you spend into it.
During the songwriting process, do you give your song to listen to someone, I don't know, from your family, of close friends, to just see their reaction maybe, or you don't
Of
do that?
course. Yeah, no, of course. I give it to as many ears as possible, but it's key to give it to the right ears. You know, people who, support you, but also will say, all right, that's a bit too crazy. Like, you tone it down a little bit. You need someone who will be honest with you, supportive, and sort of understand you as well as a writer. That's quite important.
Yeah, I totally agree, because I think critic is really important, and that
Mm,
feedback, critic maybe not the right word, but the feedback is very important.
of
And
course.
listen to your audience, like, your target group that you
Mm,
try to do the magic with your music. Um, okay, now because I write songs myself, and I feel that, oh, sometimes, like, as a writer, as a songwriter, I am very, like, perfectionist, and then it
mhm.
can take such a long time to actually release the song, because you want to fix a little bit, because more times you listen to the song, more things you hear to, what you can change, like. And sometimes this process have, like, no end, and there are so many good songs that are in our, somewhere. They
Yeah.
never been released because we think, oh, it's not good enough yet. So how do you know that the song is done, it's time to stop revising and,
Mm.
put it down?
Well, as you say, I'm just as guilty as that, and I think that's really common along with many other writers. Is we are such perfectionists, and we do let really good songs fade away because we've listened to them hundreds and hundreds of times on repeat, on a loop, and then, as you say, picking out things that other people just aren't going to care about. And it's so important to just, I think, trust yourself and just think, leave it alone now for like a week, listen to it again. If something doesn't really scream out at you, then I think roll with it, because we spend way too much time just trying to make perfection, but nothing is perfect. Music definitely isn't perfect. It's meant to not be perfect, and yeah, we just get bogged down too much with rules. And yeah, I think learn to let go and move on to the next thing and move forward that way.
Do you think that over time you learn how to, be less perfectionist in those little things?
Of course. Yeah, I think the early stages are the hardest, because you're listening to the people who you aspire to, who are, you know, doing really, really well, but they've already overcome these hurdles. They've had to go through what you're about to go through. And you see that as if I'm not that, why do not I not sound like that? But you just need to ride the journey and just keep moving forward, keep positive, and yeah, just let go and keep moving to the next one.
Nice. I wanted to ask you what advice you could give to the new songwriters, because it can be really hard, because there are so many artists, so many
Mhm.
songs, and when you are young and when you just start to make your music, there are so many people around you who say, oh, this is not really good, or
Mhm.
a lot of critic around. So what you could say to those young people who trying to start their career in this
Yeah,
songwriting?
of course. I think really surround yourself with the right people. I think that's so important as well. Um, and try and be in a following with like-minded people who, you know, are trying to achieve the same things as you, and do a lot of learning, but learn well. By that I mean, really look at trusted sources. Don't do the YouTube thing and because you will spend about 20 minutes watching a video where someone's told you how to sort of achieve one thing, but you can harness that time and energy into so much more if you just do a bit more digging and sort of know what you're looking for. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's a very good advice. Surround yourself with the right people. Now, what do you do when you have a creator's block? I don't know if you have such a thing, but
Always,
sometimes
always.
you just sit down to write a song and it's nothing. Like, oh my God, this white page,
Yeah.
So what do you do?
It's there's many different ways of dealing with it. Sometimes is literally just walk away and go do something productive, like go for like a nice walk in nature, do something that's going to inspire you, and just come back fresh. If you feel like you're spending hours and hours and hours trying to, and nothing's really coming of it, then do something like, yeah, go for a walk or go hang out with some people who you really enjoy, who are very supportive, and then you will come back refreshed and you will be a lot more creative. So that time was well spent. It wasn't a waste of time. It wasn't like you were just bumming off and going hanging out with your mates. You actually, something constructive has come out of it rather than anything else. So I think that's probably the best way, and don't be too hard on yourself.
It's fine to have breaks. It's okay sometimes to have no inspiration for a day or a week, especially when we are in a kind of lockdown situation where we cannot travel, we cannot be adventurous, and it's hard to find inspiration. You basically need to go into your memories, you need to see